Welcome to the Next Thought podcast, where we unpack curated insights from the world's most impactful thinkers, books, and mental models, all in under 20 minutes. Today, we're taking a deep dive into some really profound lessons from a truly transformative story, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, that spiritual fable by Robin Sharma. Our listener for this deep dive, probably like many of you, is curious about personal growth, finding purpose, and, mastering their inner world.
Indeed. And this book, it recounts the amazing journey of Julian Mantle. He was this high-powered, super-stressed lawyer.
Right.
And his life just dramatically changed after a sudden health crisis. A heart attack, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, so he sold everything, all his possessions, and embarked on this odyssey to India. And there, he discovered this ancient wisdom from the sages of Savannah.
What's truly fascinating, I think, is how this wisdom gets across. It's not like dry philosophy. It's through this mystical fable with 7 symbols.
Exactly, 7 symbols.
And each one represents a timeless virtue for, well, enlightened living. Our mission today is to unpack these 7 virtues, maybe reveal some practical insights that could really shift your daily life. Let's unpack this.
Julian Mantle's transformation, it really started with a literal wake-up call. This massive heart attack right in the middle of a courtroom. Courtroom number 7, actually.
No kidding.
Yeah, and this wasn't just, a physical collapse. It was a profound confrontation with the emptiness that had kind of enveloped his life despite all his success.
All the external stuff.
Right. It forced him to ask that question so many of us secretly ponder. Is there more to life than just accumulating money and prestige?
Mm-hmm.
And for Julian, it was this golden opportunity, really, to rekindle an inner fire that had been totally extinguished by his law career.
And what an odyssey it became. I mean, the book paints such a vivid picture of this radical decision. He sold everything.
Everything.
His mansion, the Ferrari, obviously, his jet, even a racehorse and his Rolex.
Can you imagine?
He just headed to India, not really knowing what he was looking for, but sort of pulled towards something more.
And the narrative suggests that as he shed all these external things, his natural curiosity, his creative spark, things that had been dormant for ages, they slowly started coming back.
He started feeling glimpses of joy again.
Yeah, peace, joy. His real breakthrough, though, came after about 7 months in Kashmir. He met this man, Yogi Krishnan,
Okay.
who was surprisingly also a former successful lawyer.
Huh. Small world.
Right. And Krishnan had found this simplicity, this purpose. He was the one who pointed Julian towards these legendary sages of Savannah, hidden way up in the Himalayas.
And they were supposed to have this holistic system, right, for cultivating mind, body, soul.
Exactly what Julian needed. So Julian, this self-proclaimed tired old litigator who thrived on rational arguments,
Yeah.
he actually ventured into those mountains alone. He shed the shackles of reason, as the book says, and just trusted his intuition.
And he found them.
He found them. The first person in years. And in exchange for learning their truths, he made this promise. He'd return to the West and share the wisdom.
Wow. So he found his sanctuary.
He really did. A place where his broken spirit could heal. And so his life among the sages began. Under Yogi Raman, his teacher, he just soaked it all up.
He must have been a good student.
Absolutely. His vitality returned, his mind cleared. He found this deep inner peace. And that's when he realized that crucial point. Success on the outside means nothing unless you also have success within.
That's such a powerful shift, especially for him.
Totally. And this led him right to the heart of the Savannah system, those 7 basic virtues presented through that mystical fable Yogi Raman shared.
Okay, let's get into them. The first virtue, maybe the most crucial, is master your mind, symbolized by the magnificent garden.
This is so foundational. Julian learned the mind is like this incredibly fertile garden. Think about it. If you care for it, nurture it with positive thoughts, cultivate it.
It blossoms.
It blossoms beyond your wildest expectations, yielding peace, creativity, joy. But, and this is the key part, if you let the weeds take root, negative thoughts, worries, anxieties brooding, lasting peace it's always going to elude you. The sages really believed the quality of your life is literally determined by the quality of your thoughts. It's an inside-out job.
It's amazing how much toxic waste as the book calls it, we led into our mental garden without even noticing.
Totally unaware most of the time.
And that detail about the Savanese word for worry being like funeral pyre, wow, that really hammers home how it drains you, burns away your energy.
It injures the soul, the book says. And here's that stat that stuck with you.
Yeah, these 60,000 thoughts a day, and 95% are the same as yesterday, often negative. A tyranny of impoverished thinking. How do you even start to break that cycle?
Well, that's the challenge, isn't it? The sages offered some powerful but actually quite simple techniques. One is the heart of the rose.
Okay, what's that?
You literally stare at a fresh rose for, say, 20 minutes a day. Just focus only on its details. The petals, the color, the scent.
So it's like mindfulness.
Exactly. It's rigorous mental discipline. It trains your mind to stay present, to focus intently. That cultivates calm and strengthens your concentration.
Makes sense.
Another is opposition thinking. The moment a negative thought pops in, you immediately replace it with an uplifting one. The mind, see, can only hold one thought at a time.
So you choose which one.
You choose. And then there's the secret of the lake. You envision desired outcomes like discipline, joy, courage by looking into still water, like it's a mental screen. Powerful visualization.
It really makes you think. How are you guarding the gate of your own mind? Are you letting weeds overrun it, or are you actively cultivating that magnificent garden? By consciously choosing thoughts, using these practices, you can seriously reduce worry, boost energy, and find that deep inner peace.
It's ongoing work, though.
Definitely an ongoing process. But the results, like Julian found, are profound. Okay, next. We move from the garden of the mind to follow your purpose, symbolized by the towering lighthouse.
The wisdom here is just, well, it's profound. The purpose of life is a life of purpose. Julian learned that having clearly defined goals, a strong life's mission, what they call dharma,
Dharma, right.
it provides unwavering guidance, like that lighthouse for ships in a storm. The sense of purpose, it leads to lasting happiness and really kindles your inner fire.
And the book stresses that happiness isn't about arriving somewhere or just idling, right?
No, it comes from steadily working towards your goals, advancing confidently towards your life's purpose. It's the striving, the journey itself that brings fulfillment.
That reminds me so much of Yogi Raman's archery demonstration.
Oh yeah, the target analogy.
You will never be able to hit a target that you cannot see. It just perfectly shows why you need clear objectives, not just vague wants, but real targets.
And the book clarifies, setting goals isn't just for, material stuff. It's vital for mental, physical, and spiritual fulfillment, all areas.
And that practical tip, writing goals down, creating a dream book.
Such a simple but powerful act. It sends this strong signal to your subconscious, activating its power to help you get there.
It really does. So you listening have to consider, what's your own dharma? Are your goals just wishes, or are they clear targets? How can setting goals across all areas give you that direction, reignite your passion?
It's about building your own lighthouse, basically.
The third virtue, practice kaizen, symbolized by the sumo wrestler.
Ah, kaizen, that Japanese word, constant and never-ending improvement. The sages taught Julian this is the path to self-mastery. Success on the outside, they believed, it starts within.
Through constantly cultivating mind, body, soul.
Ceaselessly.
Yeah.
And Julian, being this, tough Harvard-trained legal gunslinger, he found this hard to swallow at first, skeptical of these New Age theories.
That's so relatable, isn't it? We often resist things that seem too simple or don't fit our, default way of thinking.
Absolutely, but the sages, they had this way of proving their point through experience, like that push-up anecdote.
Oh, yeah. Where Julian and then his colleague John did 10 more push-ups than they thought possible.
Exactly. Illustrating that profound truth. The only limits on your life are those that you set yourself. Pushing past that voice saying, I can't.
And doing that consistently builds courage.
Yes, they said courage isn't inherent. It's a quality anyone can develop. It lets you run your own race, persist where others give up, just by taking that tiny extra step.
And that's Kaizen, right? Not huge leaps, but consistent small improvements.
That's the essence. So it encourages you to ask, what hidden potential do you have? How can consistently pushing your comfort zone, even in small ways, unlock greater strength and growth, finding that +1?
Okay, fourth virtue. And this one sounds like it takes serious dedication. Live with discipline, symbolized by the pink wire cable.
The imagery here is beautiful, I think. Self-discipline and willpower, like a cable made of many thin strands. Alone, they're weak.
Easily broken.
But woven together, stronger than iron. It shows how discipline gives you the mental reserves to persevere, to follow through, even when motivation fades.
It's the bridge between intention and action.
Exactly. The book calls willpower the king of mental powers, the ability to do what you said you'd do, even when it's hard,
And it's not something you're born with, right? It's cultivated, like building muscle.
brick by brick. They use Mahatma Gandhi as an example. He wasn't born disciplined. He built it meticulously through daily practice.
So how do you build it? What are the techniques?
Well, one is repeating mantras daily. Affirmations like, I am more than I appear to be. All the world's strength and power rests inside me. Words have power, they believed.
Shaping your inner landscape.
Right. There's also creative envisioning, vividly picturing yourself being disciplined in specific situations. And for the really dedicated, the vow of silence.
Going a whole day without speaking unless asked. Wow.
Yeah, specifically to train the will by resisting that impulse to just talk. But even simpler things, like making your bed every morning if you dislike it, build willpower bit by bit.
Building those mental muscles. So you need to think how you can build your own iron will. Discipline might feel uncomfortable at first,
Maybe even painful.
but it ultimately leads to real freedom, doesn't it? Freedom from impulse, control over your life.
Becoming the architect of your own destiny.
Okay, number 5. This one hits home for many of us. Respect your time, symbolized by the gold stopwatch.
Time. Our most precious, non-renewable commodity. Once it's gone, it's gone. The sages believe time mastery isn't just about productivity, it leads to life mastery. More time for what's truly meaningful.
And that anecdote about the youngest sage, Devaya, giving Julian the miniature hourglass.
Such a poignant reminder of mortality, right? The importance of living full, productive days because, as the book says, time slips through our hands like grains of sand, never to return.
It really forces you to confront the finite nature of it all.
It does. And the wisdom here is about conscious planning and ruthless prioritization.
Just 15 minutes the night before or an hour on Sunday?
Can make a huge difference anchoring the important stuff. But the key isn't just being busy, it's focusing on high-impact activities, the meat, not the fat of your day.
How do you do that, though? How do you protect that time?
Well, techniques like the ancient rule of 20, working in focused 20-minute bursts with breaks, and crucially, the courage to say no.
Saying no to time thieves, unnecessary calls, meetings, drop-ins, being fiercely protective.
Exactly. And ultimately adopting a deathbed mentality, living each day as if it's your last, asking, what would I do today if this was it?
Not morbid, but energizing. Clarifies priorities, cuts through the trivial stuff.
Precisely. So are you killing time, letting it slip away, or are you mastering it, directing it towards what truly matters? It's about regaining control moment by moment.
All right, Virtue 6 takes us outside ourselves. Selflessly serve others, symbolized by the fragrant roses.
Ah, a beautiful proverb. A little bit of fragrance always clings to the hand that gives you roses. It's so simple, but profound.
It really is.
Julian learned the quality of your life ultimately comes down to the quality of your contribution to others. Giving isn't just for the recipient. It enriches the giver, too.
Like Yogi Raman's childhood ritual, making him do a kindness every day.
Imagine that. What a foundation. And Julian's own story about his lost daughter, how that immense pain led him to seek purpose through serving others.
It shows how even tragedy can be transformed.
It does. The sages believe people are increasingly trading in money for meaning. Material success alone leaves a void. True purpose, they taught, is giving yourself to others.
And that anecdote about the old woman and the separate table?
Yeah, showing the parents their own future through their child's actions. A real lesson in compassion.
So this virtue encourages daily acts of kindness, big or small.
Exactly. Volunteer work, sure, but also letting cars pass, offering a genuine compliment, and cultivating richer relationships, being truly present for people.
So how can shifting your focus from self to contribution enrich your life? It's about discovering that joy, that fulfillment you get from serving.
A meaning money just can't buy.
And finally, the 7th virtue, maybe the hardest in our busy world. Embrace the present, symbolized by the path of diamonds.
The core wisdom here. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. You have to learn to live in the now. Savor it fully. Recognize the path you're on right now is rich with priceless treasures.
We're always living for the future, aren't we?
So often, the past is gone, the future isn't here yet. The sages hammered this.
Yeah.
The most important moment is now. Julian's big insight. Never put off happiness for the sake of achievement.
Don't wait for the lottery win or retirement or that big promotion to actually live.
Exactly. And that advice, to live your children's childhood. Wow. Be fully present for those moments.
Put down the phone, close the laptop, engage.
And techniques to cultivate this. Practicing gratitude daily for everything, material or spiritual. Even in tough times, there's something. Acknowledging it shifts your perspective
Grow your destiny. Discover your higher purpose.
and direct your energy towards it. And crucially, act as if failure is impossible. Not being naive, but freeing yourself from that fear paralysis to take bold action now.
Finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. So are you constantly chasing the next thing, forgetting the present? This teaches you to find those diamonds in everyday life right now.
Cultivating joy and contentment today. It's a choice, moment by moment.
What a journey through the monk who sold his Ferrari and these 7 timeless virtues. It's pretty clear that real transformation isn't about these huge, dramatic changes necessarily.
Right. It's about the consistent daily efforts. Cultivating your mind, clarifying purpose, building discipline, managing time, serving others, embracing the present.
Julian's story just shows these aren't abstract ideas. They're practical tools for a richer, more meaningful life.
And it's such a powerful reminder. The boundaries of your life, they're often just creations of the self, self-imposed limitations. By applying even one of these principles consistently, you could start to unlock that vast potential inside you. It's about taking responsibility for your inner world.
So what small, consistent act will you choose to ignite the spark of your potential starting today? That's definitely something profound to ponder. Don't forget to subscribe to the Next Thought podcast.